What's going on, you guys? I'm John Turner. Welcome back to Woods to Table. Thank you so much for joining us again today. I'm excited to show you my first successful Canadian goose hunt, catch, clean, and cook. But first, I want to set the stage a little bit. We're going to have to jump into this hunt in progress on day 2 because this hunt began with me going out to the hunting camp with my good friend Dave. Neither one of us very experienced goose hunters, and so we decided to do the best we could. We'd set up where we had seen the geese flying, but not necessarily where they should be. Conventional wisdom would say they should probably be near the pond or in the fields near the ponds, but we had seen them flying over our parking area. We didn't have a lot of success. So rather than showing you a bunch of footage of 2 idiots sitting over our parking area, we only had 2 geese fly over that entire day, and we got shots at them, but they were kind of pushing the edge of effective range, so we couldn't bring them down. We're gonna skip right to day 2 of the hunt. Listen, this whole thing is a learning experience for me, and I want to become a better outdoorsman. I want to show you guys and let you share in the successes, but I'm not above admitting when I'm wrong, and that was a foolish decision. It would have been genius if it had worked, but it didn't work. So we're gonna jump right into day 2 where we had a little bit more success. Unfortunately, I had to go out by myself, but still had a ball. Hope you guys enjoy. Back to it, day 2. Back after those Canadian geese this morning. It is early. I mean, I'm tired. I really need this though to get out there and relax a little bit. It is freezing cold today. My daddy would say it is rude this morning. It's actually colder today than any day that I can remember during deer season. Just to put it in some kind of perspective. I've lost my hunting buddy. That's where Dave was sitting the last time that we did this, and couldn't get Ryan up today, so I am solo. But I'm looking forward to hopefully getting out there relaxing, not freezing. See how it goes.
It has been a beautiful morning so far. No sign of geese yet, but seeing about everything else. There's been crows and sparrows and squirrels all around us. Even had a group of wood ducks come by a second ago and land on the pond. They're splashing around over here to my left. I'll see if I can get some video of them. Of course, that has to happen right when they go out of season, so it's just how it works, I guess.
Man, that was awesome. Suckers came out of nowhere. I just looked up to my left and they were flying over that corner of the pond. It's so hard to hear out here when you're sitting with your back to the stream. Had almost no warning to jump up and shoot, but man, could not be happier to have brought one of them down. We'll be having goose meat tonight. I have to figure out how to cook this. I don't know how I want to do it. I got a lot of different ideas. Man, I'm sorry I didn't have Dave or Ryan here with me today. Because this was a lot of fun, man. It was a beautiful day. Wound up seeing all kinds of stuff out here. Saw deer, saw ducks, and then finally got some geese to come in here at the end of the hunt, man. This is awesome. What an awesome day, and I can't wait to get home. All right, so we're ready to get this guy cleaned up. We're gonna show you how to breast this thing out and get tenderloins out from underneath. Full disclosure, I've never done this before. So we're gonna see how this goes. I've cleaned ducks, I've cleaned brant, and how different could it be, right? Honestly. We'll kind of learn this stuff together. So if you wanna come in on this, basically we're gonna start with...
Daddy?
Yes, baby.
Can I have some water?
You can have some water? You wanna help me with this goose?
No, thank you.
You don't want to?
No.
You wanna come look?
No.
Okay, I'll get you water.
All right, Daddy break.
Time out. Here. We're gonna start with a good sharp knife and just kind of follow this breastbone down until the abdomen begins. Pull that skin up, and then we'll start to separate that meat from the skin from the bone. Okay, so you can already start to see where the skin is kind of separating from the meat. And we're just gonna follow this up this breastbone right here. Let's follow this all the way up to the neck. And then we'll just start to peel this away from the skin. So this may not be the prettiest cut of meat, but it'll be mine.
Now why don't you put the feathers?
Well, certainly could. It would take a while. And
You don't need to.
you don't need to, as long as if you're willing to sacrifice the fat that's, see look, underneath here, there's a little bit of fat that's starting to form on these birds kind of in the late season, and ignoring the fact that I'm not doing a good job kind of breasting this thing out with this particular knife that I'm holding. There's fat in here that you could take advantage of underneath that skin when you went to cook it, if you were to pluck the whole thing. And it would take a good bit of time, and I've never done that before either. So for this one, we're just gonna stick with breasting it out. So as you get down here, it really wants to pull away from that breast. If you can kind of see how that meat and the skin just kind of falls apart really naturally down here. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay. From here, we're ready to go ahead and remove the meat from the bone. So we're just gonna go ahead and follow the main part of the breast meat down and separate that from this bone in the center. A lot of stuff in here we're gonna have to clean up. But as soon as I did that, look, as soon as I did that, this main cut of meat just starts to fall away from, you see some of the steel shot in here, starts to fall away from, you see the tenderloin underneath. Right? So this meat, we'll just continue to work down that bone. And then on this end, we'll invert the knife and start working up towards the top of this bone. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So in here, there's a little bit, there's a vein in here where it connects to almost like to the wing down here. And so it might get a little bit messy as we go to actually separate this meat. That's okay. Looks like I might have missed it, we'll see. And we'll just continue to work this piece of meat out away from the skin down here next to the wing. We're almost finished. Okay, so ignoring the fact that this was the first one of these I've ever done, I got a little messy up here next to the bone, kind of filleting this stuff out. That is a good looking piece of meat, and we've got some pieces of steel shot in there we may want to clean up and take out. And we'll obviously wash all the down feathers off, but that is one good breast. So here, we're gonna wanna come in here and just cut out this piece of tenderloin up here next to the bone. This is the really good, really tender meat. And we can see a piece of that steel shot's in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop that out. I don't want anybody getting that in their teeth when we go to eat this, right? Okay, so we're gonna start with a kind of a flexible fillet knife and just kind of follow that bone down with this tenderloin and turn the knife and let it just kind of peel this tenderloin away. Mommy, I think you're being summoned from the other room.
What, honey?
Okay, so there is, we'll trim this up a little bit and make it look a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side and take the rest of the breast meat and the tenderloin off. All right, so now we're ready to get started cooking this up. And the first step is to go ahead and prepare the breast meat because it's gonna need to cook for a couple of hours in the sous vide cooker. The longer you cook it, the more tender it's gonna be. So let's go ahead and start adding all the spices, get this into the bag, get it into the water, and then we'll start working on everything else. Season both sides with salt and pepper. Crush a handful of juniper berries. And let's add everything to our bag. Add our breast meat. Add our rosemary. Add a little bit of garlic. On both sides, actually. Add our crushed juniper berries. And we'll drop this into our sous vide cooker on 140 degrees for 3 to 5 hours. All right, so while the goose meat is cooking, we're gonna come in and go ahead and start getting our mashed potatoes ready. So to do that, we're gonna go ahead and small or medium dice our Yukon Gold potatoes, and the smaller the pieces, the better. It takes less time to boil them that way. So we're gonna cut these up into little bitty pieces, and then we'll boil them for 15 minutes, mash them up, add some heavy cream, maybe a little bit of cheese. It's gonna be delicious.
Tell everybody how good that ginger corn is, for those that have not experienced ginger corn.
If you haven't had ginger corn before, you are missing out. And I never had it until Afton cooked it for me, so thank you, babe.
It is good.
Yeah, it's delicious. But it's really easy to make. You just take a couple of pieces of cob corn, cut your corn off that cob. Then you're gonna peel and finely chop your ginger and saute that stuff up in a pan with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. We'll get started on that while everything else cooks. Peel your ginger. Cut this stuff up into some small little pieces. The finer the better, actually. Ginger corn. Heat your olive oil, add your corn and ginger. It's very precise.
Science.
It's science. Let this cook in the olive oil for 3 minutes. This stuff's starting to smell good. Starting to smell that ginger a little bit. You're just gonna wanna cook this corn in the olive oil until it starts to brown just slightly. This is almost there, just for a couple minutes.
Got that goose going.
I'm on a mission to use every dish in this house.
I don't understand you.
You give me
like,
10 more minutes, I will succeed.
Right. This was clean.
This is not my doing.
That was clean.
There's no Superman cup in this video.
Proof.
You need to wash as you go, friend. Wash as you go.
Well, the good news is...
No, that ain't no
potatoes are-
good news. There's a bunch of dirty dishes.
That's not my news.
You just leave. You drop and go.
The good news is the potatoes are done, so drain those, return them back to the pot. I was lobbying for heavy cream. I've been overruled, and Nathan told me to put whole milk in here instead. So we're just gonna add a little bit of whole milk. You don't want to do too much because you don't want this stuff to turn out runny. Just a little. And then we've got, I cut up 4 tablespoons of butter. Now that I'm sitting here looking at this, and this isn't but 2 Yukon Gold potatoes, that feels like a little bit much even for my taste. So I'm gonna go with about half that. Let's go with 2 tablespoons of butter. Then we're just gonna add salt and pepper, mash that up and stir it up with a fork, and cover it and keep it warm until the rest of the dish is ready. This stuff's gonna be good. Here. Come here. We'll try a bite of these. Adam didn't think I could eyeball this and get the proportions right. Tell me.
Oh, it ain't bad.
Oh, it's not bad?
It's not bad.
You want me to make another batch?
It's not bad. You know what I like? I like dipping my ginger corn in those potatoes.
Wake up the kids. Get them down here. Get them down here to eat that. All right, well, everything else is cooking. Let's go ahead and get our glaze ready to go. So when that goose comes off, we're ready to slice that thing up and ready to eat. We're gonna start with just a cup of orange juice. We're gonna add a teaspoon of Worcestershire and a tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 clove of garlic, chopped up fine. Good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this, looks like a marinade, into a glaze. So we're gonna go ahead and add this to a pan on medium heat, maybe medium high, and not a bit too high. And we're gonna let this kind of simmer and then reduce for 5 or 10 minutes. As soon as that starts to thicken, it's gonna be ready to go onto our meat. Okay, let's go ahead and get the goose out of the sous vide. Get that out of the bag. And we're gonna pick the rosemary, all the juniper berries off, the garlic. Sear this in our olive oil. It's been heating up. This is gonna get noisy. We're gonna let that thicken a little bit. While we're doing this, while we're making the glaze, let's come over here and cut our meat, which has been resting on the cutting board here for 5 or 6 minutes. And we're gonna look for something resembling a grain here. I see it. And we're just gonna cut this across into some very thin slices. Let's see how we did.
I'm dying to know.
That looks perfect to me. So let's go ahead and just cut some very thin slices out of this. I don't think that could be cooked any better. I'm telling you, that cooker,
It's that sous vide cooker, man.
it will cook anything. Goose,
Awesome.
duck, venison, shoe leather would
So
all
easy.
be good in that thing. I'm telling you.
I don't know about you, leather. I'm dying to know.
That's delicious. Here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna cut you a bite. And then, hold on. Give me the camera. All right, now you try it.
I'm ready.
All right, try it.
Oh, that's good.
Really good?
It's good.
You like it?
It's like sous vide. Boom. Another success.
That's delicious.
Let's put some sauce on it.
I know, I'll put some sauce on it. We're gonna plate this thing up. Don't eat any more of it though.
It's good.
Yeah. Don't be eating my goose. I honestly don't know if I just broke my tooth off. I think that's it for us tonight. I gotta go get my tooth looked at tomorrow. It might actually be worth it because that was delicious. So we're gonna do it was really good. We're gonna do the goose hunt again next year for sure. So this is gonna become a staple. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. Thank you guys for being a part of it. We'll see you next time. We're not filming right now.
Oh, I'm filming. You're good.
Turn it off.
This is your best moments. The you jerk. I got you. Oh, I'm filming. You're good.
Turn it off.
This is your best moments. You good.
It never gets old.